Coming up on Sports Night.
Men's basketball traveled to Bloomington to take on the Hoosiers.
Lacrosse looked to build momentum against Marquette.
And women's basketball took on two tough opponents.
I'm Patrick Winograd, also known as the dinosaur of Sports Night. But before I was known as a dinosaur, I had the honor of being Fallon Princess PA.
Don't worry, Patrick. We still considered you Unc last September.
Okay, you might be right there, but the nickname is still fitting for someone who's hosting Sports Night for the final time.
Then it looks like I have the great honor of being on desk with a pro for my first time.
And there's only one way to start the show. Okay, Fallon, you know what time it is. One,
No,
two.
no, Patrick. It's not the time for that because it's Sports Night. Right now.
Welcome to another episode of Sports Night. Tonight is going to be a packed show as it's crossover season for all sports.
As basketball and swimming come to a close, lacrosse and baseball have been heating up and the Wildcats have a full slate of games.
But before we get to those early season sports, we have to talk about some Wildcats hoops. Northwestern men's basketball traveled to Bloomington to take on the Hoosiers at Assembly Hall. Coming off a hot shooting night at home against Maryland, the Wildcats head to Bloomington looking to make it 2 Big Ten wins in a row. Indiana got off to a hot start in this game in large part due to this man right there on the wing, Lamar Wilkerson. He started 4 for 4 from downtown and reaped up 14 first half points. Indiana on a 10-1 run here as we see the bottom, but Jake West squares up. He hits a straight on 3 and that'll cut into the deficit. Indiana led by as many as 14 in the first, but the Cats go into the break down by just 9. Moving on to second half action here, Jake West starts off the second half the same way he ended the first. Right there on the left wing, hits nothing but nylon. Indiana needs a timeout. Cats clawing back in this one, just down by 4. Later in the second half, it's a 1-point game. Northwestern looking for the lead. West sends it in to Arrington Page. Down low, he kicks it. Martinelli from the corner, bullseye, and U takes the lead back late in this one. Game still hanging on in the balance here, but who else but good old St. Nick in the post. He gets the fall away to go from mid-range. Martinelli with the dagger in Bloomington as the Cats complete the comeback. After some late free throws and 0 controversial referee decisions, Northwestern leaves Indiana with a 72-68 victory, its second in a row in conference play. The Wildcats handed Indiana a shocking late-season loss as Northwestern started its first winning streak since December. The Wildcats will look to make it 3 wins in a row against Oregon this weekend.
Lacrosse took on the Marquette Golden Eagles inside Ryan Fieldhouse last Friday night. The Cats are looking to make it 3 wins in a row as they take on Marquette indoors on the shores of Lake Michigan. The Golden Eagles come into this one at 2-1 so far on the season. And it doesn't take long for the Lake Show to start. Maddie Taylor off the set piece to get NU on the board first, her first of 6 total goals on the day. Later in the first quarter, Marquette looking for something. Tess Osborne receives the pass and zings it into the back of the net to tie the score at 2 apiece. Competitive play early in this one, but it wouldn't remain that way. By the half, NU leads by 9, and how about another? Olivia Adamson picking up her 4th of the day a minute before the buzzer sounds. Cats looking to tack on in the third quarter. It's a DT Foster outside the circle driving towards the net, and she takes it herself. 13-point lead for the purple and white and the 3rd consecutive score from Foster. Marquette tries to cut the deficit, but the Cats come roaring back. Lauren Archer onto Gabriella McAllister, and she gets it to go. Too quick for the Golden Eagle goalie there, and Northwestern leads by 17. This one is all but finished, but nobody told Taylor LaPointe. Rachel Weiner finds her right next to the net, and quick turn, and she zips right on through. 23-7 Wildcats. 2 Northwestern scores later, and that would be all. Northwestern wins their 3rd straight game by 10 or more goals with an 18-point obliteration of Marquette, bringing their score to 4-1 on the season. The Wildcats look to continue their winning ways against 16th-ranked Stony Brook on Saturday, and it will be a homecoming for Long Island native Madison Taylor.
My first ever college lacrosse game that I watched was at Stony Brook Field, so it's crazy that I'm going to be playing there now in my senior year, so I'm super excited to go back and see all my family and friends. I just think about like the best memories that I had with like my high school team and my club team especially, like seeing all of them now, like I'm still friends with them till this day, like 4 years later. So it's super exciting to now go home and be able to play on Long Island. It's my first time in college, so I'm just super excited to get that opportunity. For us offensively, they play a backer zone, which is something we've been working on a lot ever since that Colorado game. So I'm excited to really showcase that to everyone on Saturday. I don't think it was our best like effort or like out there when we played against Colorado, so I'm just excited to go against the zone again and just like have a little reset and show everyone that like we've been working on it and it's been really good, and no matter what defense anyone throws at us, like we're capable and adaptable enough to work around it.
When we come back, it's Diamond sports season, and Sports Night's Matt Campbell has a preview of players to watch in the Wildcats' upcoming weekend.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Fallon, one of my favorite things about Northwestern sports are the great rivalries the Cats have.
It was one of the reasons I wanted to attend Northwestern in the first place.
But unfortunately, all great things have to come to an end eventually. And just like the impending end of my Sports Night career, we're nearing the end of Joe McCune's career as well. The Wildcats had a chance to take down the Fighting Illini one more time for Coach McCune in Evanston. As its regular season continued to wind down, Northwestern women's basketball took on Illinois in a Sunday afternoon rivalry matchup. The Fighting Illini kicked the scoring off with ease. Destiny Jackson takes an aggressive angle to the cup to give Illinois the lead. The Cats trail by 10 after one quarter. In the second quarter, Northwestern managed to cut the deficit to 5. Grace Sullivan takes the feed here and drills the jumper with confidence. Still, Illinois manages to pull away big time in the remainder of the quarter, securing a huge 24-point halftime advantage. Illinois went 8 for 9 from 3 in the first 20 minutes. Jackson adds another one from deep with a splash, make that 9 for 10 as the Wildcat deficit continues to balloon. The Fighting Illini didn't shy away from the paint either, as Jasmine Brownhager picks a tough 2 early in the fourth. The rout is on against Northwestern. The Wildcats did not manage to make much headway from there. Illinois walks away with a 92-65 victory thanks to 12 three-pointers and a 50% mark overall from the field.
After the loss to Illinois, Northwestern needs this win against number 14 Maryland in College Park to stay in contention for postseason play. Maryland takes an early lead in the first quarter with Brianna Williams putting the Terps up by 7. But the Cats begin to crawl back with Zamaya Walton passing to Katie Harder, who gets a shot off, and it's good for 3, but the Cats still trail. Zamaya Walton makes a diving layup to shorten the deficit, and the Terps lead by 13. Coming into the third quarter, the Cats are down by 13 and looking to have a second half comeback, eager to score more points. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Caroline Lau gets the rebound and charges down the court, passing to Grace Sullivan, who makes the shot. But despite their best efforts, the Cats fall 57-79 against the Terrapins and look to win their final regular season game at home against Purdue on March 1st. It was a tough week for the Wildcats, but Northwestern looks to bounce back against Purdue in its senior day game on Sunday.
The on-court Cats might not have had a great road trip, but the Cats were on fire on the diamond. Northwestern has won 5 games in a row, most recently sweeping the Hub City Invitational to improve to 5-2 for the season. The Wildcats' next series is against Georgia Tech, and there will be plenty of MLB draft-ready talent on the field when the Cats take on the 5th-ranked Yellow Jackets.
Oh my gosh! You couldn't be more right, Patrick. I am so excited for this opportunity for the Cats to take on number 5 Georgia Tech, a team that revealed itself to be vulnerable in a 9-4 upset loss to Georgia State just 2 days ago. For a red-hot Northwestern team coming off 5 straight wins, this is the most important non-conference series of the year, but these games might be even more crucial for for some of the 2026 draft prospects on both of these rosters. So much talent to look out for this weekend. Let's take some time to preview what's to come tomorrow at Russ Chandler Stadium, starting with two guys I deem as box office. That's Drew Burress and Ryan Kucherak. The former, a first-round lock in late June, and the latter trying to solidify himself in one of those middle rounds. Both are the centerpieces of their respective lineups. Both provide reliable defense, but let's delve into their archetypes just a little bit more. I want to start with the Northwestern shortstop here, who came into last season as an unproven talent, looking to prove himself after transferring in from LSU, and prove himself did he. He really came alive in the back half of conference play, hovering around the .415 mark in his final 12 Big Ten games last season. As you can see here by the clips against UCLA, he's a balanced hitter. He can hit the ball with power to all parts of the field. He utilizes that backside really well. He's got great bat-to-ball skills, and the cherry on top is that he comes through when you need him to. He led the team with 41 runs batted in last season, and he showed a flair for the dramatic as well. Admittedly, a slower start to 2026, but Kucherak, at his best, is a Big Ten Player of the Year dark horse candidate. But another guy in the early conversation for Conference Player of the Year honors is Drew Burress. Missed out on the ACC award last year, but I do not expect that box to be left unchecked after the spring. If it is, I will be so shocked. DB is the definition of aura. Hear me out. He's a guy that plays with swagger, plays with conviction, plays with confidence, a fun guy to watch. Projected to go fourth this coming year in MLB Pipeline's first mock draft in December, but if he somehow tops what he did in 2025, he can easily snatch that #1 overall spot from Brock Chalowski of UCLA. So much intrigue between Burress and Kucherak, but let's not get so caught up in this matchup that we forget about the other talent that accompanies them on the field. Let's stay in center field. Let's talk a little bit of Jack Lausch. He was so stupendous from the left side last season, creating an electric dynamic with Kucherak in the heart of the order and provided Northwestern some plus defense in center field. The same thing could be said about Owen McElpatrick at third base, but what's different about Northwestern's third baseman is that he's a versatile hitter. You could quite literally slot him in any of the 9 spots in the order, and he'd perform. His yellow jacket counterpart in the infield, Jarek Edvendula, is the modern-day blueprint of a leadoff guy. He's a career .300 hitter, boasted a .916 OPS last season at Cal, and he's off to a similar start. And before we conclude, we have to give our catchers some love as well. What about Vaughn Lackey, the most underrated player in college baseball right now? Not many catchers can give you the offensive consistency like he can. He led Georgia Tech with 77 hits a season ago. He's got 15 so far in 9 games this season, striking out just 9% of the time. Utterly impressive. And we've been so excited here at Sports Night to watch this series because of the excitement it brings to the world of college baseball. It's a great test for the Northwestern Wildcats, one that will tell us a lot about the veteran production on this year's squad. Back to you guys on desk.
Thank you, Matt, for that breakdown. All eyes will be on those big-name players in a huge series this weekend.
When we come back, we check in on former Northwestern center Keenan Fitzmaurice.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, go!
Fallon, not to date myself here, but please tell me you know about Keenan Fitzmaurice.
Who? Like the guy from Saturday Night Live?
No, not exactly. Wrong Keenan, but thanks for trying. Of course, the Keenan I was talking about is the former high-energy big man for the Wildcats. Keenan Fitzmaurice joined Northwestern in the transfer portal following 2 years at Stanford and 2 years at Stony Brook. After his career with the Cats ended in 2025, Fitzmaurice made another location change, this time relocating to Lima, Peru, to play for the Regatas. SportsNight's very own Tomas Moran and Sid Savaraman had the very unique opportunity to travel to Lima and catch up with the former Wildcat.
The Wildcats are worldwide, including Lima, Peru. After graduating in 2025, Keenan Fitzmaurice joined Club de Regatas Lima for the second half of their La Liga de Lima campaign. Fitzmaurice has a connection to the South American country.
Well, my mom, she played basketball and volleyball for the national team of Peru. And my dad played internationally. His basketball journey brought him abroad to Peru. I definitely was inspired by them when deciding to come play at Regatas.
Fitzmaurice played at Regatas from September to December, gelling with the team and achieving La Liga de Lima first team honors.
Él en su juego es así, y eso digamos, de una manera motiva a los chicos o los contagia. Entonces, la verdad que nos aporta mucho Keenan.
Fue un refuerzo para nosotros. También lo recibimos de la mejor manera, ¿no? Siempre tratando de priorizar, digamos, la parte humana, porque al final si tú haces un buen grupo, eso se traslada a la cancha.
With Fitzmaurice's help, Regatas won the league championship, defeating their opponent Dinosaurios 79-76 in the last game of the finals.
It was pretty electric. Loud, the drums, knowing it's a big game, big moment for our team. I was just so happy for our team, seeing all our coaches hugging and all of us just like going and embracing on the court and running and up and down. Like, that was really special.
Fitzmaurice returned to the United States in December, but brought fond memories of his time in Peru with him.
Being here has allowed me to reconnect with a part of my identity that I hadn't been able to fully appreciate being so far away. It is special to me, and it's been nice to be able to further explore that.
Reporting for NNN Sports from Lima, Peru, Tomas Moran.
Tomas Moran and Sid Sivaraman are producing a longer documentary that will release in the spring. Fitzmaurice and his team may have won the league, but it's not a guarantee that he will be back to run it back in Lima with the rest of his teammates. Fitzmaurice will chase down the many goals he has back in the States, leaving his basketball future up in the air.
Last weekend, Northwestern made the trip to Fayetteville, Arkansas to take part in the Razorback Invitational, and it would be a very up and down trip. On Friday, the Cats beat Southeast Missouri 4-1 thanks to a couple first-inning runs. However, hours later, they found themselves no hit by Arkansas's Robin Herron, who was only 2 free passes away from securing her second collegiate perfect game. Saturday would be much of the same for NU as they beat the Red Hawks by a score of 12-1 and were subsequently shut out by the Razorbacks 7-0. Sunday's finale against Arkansas would be a closer affair, but a big fifth inning for the SEC side proved too tall a hurdle for Northwestern to overcome. The Cats found great success against Southeast Missouri, tallying 16 runs, 9 walks, and only striking out 7 times across 2 games. Things were much tougher against the number 8 team in the country, though, as Northwestern could only muster 8 runs, 7 walks, and struck out 28 times during its 3-game set. NU finds itself 3 games under 500 in the early going and will hope to turn things around over on the East Coast.
Last weekend, Northwestern's women's swimming team and diving team headed to Minneapolis to compete in the Big Ten Championships. In a similar performance to last season, the Cats placed 9th overall, scoring 446 points. The 800-yard freestyle relay team of Ekaterina Nikonova, Sydney Smith, Zoe Nordman, and Hannah Shimizu Bowers combined for a school record time of just over 7 minutes, finishing 6th in the meet. Individually, Nordman placed 6th in the 1650-yard freestyle, and Lindsay Irvin placed 8th in the 100-yard freestyle, recording a personal best time of 48.28 seconds. Following the conference championships, diving will gear up for the NCAA diving zones, held from March 9th through the 11th in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
In last weekend's CCFC championships, number 6 ranked Northwestern fencing put on an impressive showing. Daphne Chan Nokse took home the foil title during the individual section, leading the way as the Cats registered 12 total podium finishes. Fencing will return for the NCAA Midwest Regionals on March 8th.
The men's tennis team split its 2 contests this weekend. The number 24 Notre Dame Fighting Irish were too much for the Wildcats, only allowing NU to win 1 match. The Cats bounced back on Sunday, though, with a win against Denver. After dropping the doubles point, Northwestern won 4 singles matches to start the new week with a victory. The Wildcats will host UIC on Saturday.
Northwestern women's tennis is rolling into Big Ten play on a high note after a dominant performance in Evanston this past weekend. The Wildcats notched a convincing 6-1 victory over DePaul on Sunday afternoon at the Combe Tennis Center. Northwestern set the tone early, securing the doubles point with a commanding win from Erica Jessel and Margot Fanthala. In singles action, Autumn Rabjohns sparked the offense with a blistering 6-0, 6-1 win before Mika Dagen-Fruchtman officially clinched the match at the number 6 spot. Coach Claire Pollard told reporters this proves the squad is battle-tested and ready for the conference slate. The Wildcats have this weekend off before traveling to Iowa on March 6th to kick off Big Ten competition.
The women's track and field team traveled just a few miles south to the University of Chicago, where they competed in the Margaret Bradley Invitational. The Cats found success in all of their events, taking 3 of the top 4 spots in the mile, with junior Kaylee Zaxt taking first place with a time of 5 minutes flat. Furthermore, the women took 3 of the top 5 positions in the 3K, led by Mallory Grubb, setting her season best time of 10 minutes and 4 seconds. Finally, Olivia Capella took a win in the 400-meter race by a running time of just over 57 seconds, almost 2 seconds faster than her next closest finisher. Northwestern has had a solid year on the indoor track, which they will be looking to continue as they prepare for postseason, starting with the Big Ten Championships tomorrow through Saturday. With the way the cross-country team is running, it might be impossible to catch up with them, but in other sports this week, we do know how to tell you to catch the Cats.
Baseball heads south to take on Georgia Tech on Friday.
The Lake Show also hits the road, heading to New York to take on Stony Brook.
And it's Coach McEwen's final game at Welsh Ryan on Sunday. You don't want to miss it. Don't leave just yet, because when we get back, it's everyone's favorite segment, Plays of the Week.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Fallon, I don't know if I'll ever put this mic on again for Sports Night. So for the final time, I want to welcome everybody back to Sports Night.
Come on, Patrick, you're bringing tears to my eyes. But there's only one proper way to cap off your Sports Night career.
Of course, how could I forget? It's time for Plays of the Week.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment. At the 3 spot, Cats. Down 6 in the 4th quarter. Jaden Reed gives it to Angelo Cheravino, who comes flying into the lane for the up and under. Tough finish and a big bucket for the Cats, who are clawing back.
At number 2, heading over to women's lacrosse against Marquette. Pass inside to Olivia Adamson, who shoots it behind the back past the goalkeeper. Sweet finish there for the Cats.
And at our number 1 play of the week, Cats down 1 in crunch time, 3 minutes left. Arrington Page in the paint. Kicks it out to a wide open Nick Martinelli in the corner, who knocks down the 3-pointer. Cats go up and complete the Big Time comeback on the road.
Fallon, I'm still upset that Raghav and Leo didn't let us do Sports Night Brain Rot Bash, but I guess this show was still a fun one.
Oh, what could have been. As we are coming to a close, Patrick, do you have any last words? And please, keep it short.
Don't worry, Fallon. I think I've sprinkled in my farewells throughout the rest of the show already. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. One final time to everyone who has been a part of Sports Night since I joined the club. It might have been a shorter time than most seniors, but I'm confident in saying I made the most of it.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at NNN Sports and on Instagram at NNN_sports. I'm Fallon Prince, signing off alongside Patrick Winograd. Have a good night.